Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today I've been inspired by a few other YouTubers that I've been watching recently showing off certain sections of their collection. And I was having a look at my Nintendo Switch collection recently, and it's grown quite significantly in recent months. I had a period where I was buying games for the Switch, and if I didn't like it that much, I was trading it straight in, getting some credit, and onwards and upwards buying another game I previously owned that really should have been in this video. They're not, because obviously I traded them in, but I've decided to stop doing that now. I'm a little bit more, probably I'd say, fussy when it comes to buying on the Switch. So when I do buy the game, the chances of me trading it in are going to be quite slim because I know what I'm buying. Previously I took a lot of chances on games that looked a little bit obscure, and it didn't always pay off, but that's what it's about, isn't it? So without further ado, let's have a look at my physical Nintendo Switch collection. So I'm not going to go through these in any particular order. I've just taken them off the shelf, and I'll just be showing you as I pick them up. Some of these games are my kids. Yeah, I know. You're probably thinking, yeah, that's what they all say. But nevertheless, I do play them games occasionally as well, so I'm not running away from it. So first game we've got SpongeBob SquarePants Battle in Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. So I bought this quite a while ago for my son. Really enjoyed it. We played it together, and we got quite far on it. For whatever reason, he moved on to another game and we didn't play it very much after. I'm not going to trade it in though, because I do think we will revisit that game at some point in the future. Then we got Super Mario Party. I bought this, honestly, I'm not a huge Mario Party fan. I bought this for one of my other sons, my middle son. He really wanted to play it. He liked the board game aspect of it. We played it a bit. I enjoy playing it with him, but as a family, in all honesty, Mum doesn't really like it. It's a bit too slow paced for her with the board game, so we don't play it too often. But it's not one I'm going to trade in. It's a solid first party title. Then we've got Bubble Bobble for Friends. I'm a huge Bubble Bobble fan. Have been ever since I first played it on the NES in the late 80s, and also in the arcade in various seaside resorts. I love it. Bubble Bobble is simplicity and addictiveness at its best. So this isn't a bad variation of Bubble Bobble. It's quite easy. There are a couple of challenging parts. It's quite easy, and the added bonus, you've got the original Bubble Bobble on the game as well. So yeah, I'm enjoying this, and it's at a really good price no matter where you buy it from, whether you get it from a retro game shop, CEX, or even Amazon, or anywhere brand new sealed. It's a good price. It's under £30, and sometimes you'll get it cheaper than that. Okay, another one of my son's games, and we've not even played this one actually. He loves Pokemon. I don't think he really knows what's happening with it, but he's just getting into it. And we've got Pokemon DX Tournament here. I've got this on the Wii U, and I've never played either of them, if I'm honest with you. So I'm not going to talk about these games for too long. I don't like Pokemon. I don't know what the hell is going on in the Pokemon world. I don't want to. It's a generation past me, and it's brilliant for everyone else, but not for me. But yeah, maybe one day. Alright, now this is a really good game. I think it's really underrated, and I think I've got it for £12 physical, and that is Golden Force. Now this is a really good platformer, quite easy to get into, and at £12 I'm really pleased with this purchase. But I'll tell you one thing, the boss fights on this game are hard as nails. So yeah, if you do happen to pick this one up, just be wary that the boss fights, yeah, they're challenging. Right, another staple here in anyone's collection. You've got Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. Need a drink. It's Mario. What can you say? It's a good Mario. A lot of people don't really talk about this one in the same breath as other Marios. Yeah, it's not very... it doesn't break the mold in terms of what the game does. But what it does really well. So next we've got Ultra Street Fighter 2. At the time when I bought this, limited options to play Street Fighter games on the Switch, and I wanted to do so. So I ended up having vouchers, I remember, because this is a game that hasn't really dropped in price that much since it came out. And I had a load of vouchers, saw it in my local CEX and said, why not? That's the best way to get the game. Feels like it's guilt-free purchasing, isn't it? It's like you're not actually buying the game. So yeah, Ultra Street Fighter 2, and you can use a couple of different variations of Ken and Ryu on this, which is nice. And there's a very strange no, there's not. Now here's one I haven't played through. I started and it fell to the wayside. But yeah, actually, just looking at the cover makes me think I'm going to start playing it maybe this weekend once the football's out of the way. And that is Sonic Superstars. So I don't know what people's perceptions are of this game. I've not really seen much of it online. People that I have seen talk about it, say it's not the best Sonic game, but I haven't seen anyone really criticising it as such. So yeah, I've enjoyed the 2 or 3 levels that I've played of it, and it's definitely one that I need to get back on sooner rather than later. Now here's one I picked up, I saw it on the Retro Ghetto's video vlog one week, and the description he gave sounded really good. And it does, you know, it's that sort of game where I thought, yeah, I really like this. I watched him play it, and he then said he didn't think it was as good as he thought it was. And I have to say, I do share the same sentiment on this one. It looks better than it actually is, but it's still not a bad game. Please don't let the fact that I'm saying that make you think that this is a bad game. And that is Gear Shifters. So Gear Shifters is basically a shoot 'em up, but you're a car. It controls in the same way as a shmup. It just didn't control and play as I expected it to when I was watching the trailers online and that. And it's one I'm going to have to revisit, because I didn't think it was bad. I think I didn't play it that much because I was had a little bit of disappointment when I bought it. Not one you see out and about too often. It's maintaining a fairly decent price, but if you're not willing to pay that sort of money, keep an eye out for it on digital, because it does go on sale quite regularly. Now here's one I've had previously. I traded in, and with Game in their current state of just selling all their games off as cheap as possible in most cases, I picked it back up. Very simplistic fighting game, but one nevertheless that, you know, it's fun, but it's not great. And that is SNK Heroines. It is quite simple. It's a lot of one button pushes to actually do out the combos and the moves. Very easy as well, although I've never actually turned it up a level, so it might be good to try it on hard. But nevertheless, I saw it in game for something like £8. And for that price, I thought, yeah, I'm going to bring it back. Why not? Another one of my son's games here, and one that I have no shame in saying I enjoy myself. WarioWare. Get it together. If you know about the WarioWare series, I don't really need to tell you about this. It's random, strange mini games, but it's a lot of fun. Now this has got to be one of the biggest bargains for me on the Switch currently. I think I got this for £7, and you can even get it on the Xbox Series for something like £3 if I'm totally honest, and that is Cinemora EX. Really, really good shmup. The mechanics are somewhat different on this one. It's more a case of you have to keep killing other enemies in order for your clock time to boost up, and when it boosts up you've got longer to complete the level and so on. The more you get hit, the more your clock reduces down even faster. So it's a really challenging mechanic, and it's a different aspect to the shmups that I'm used to, and it's really good. Yeah, I think it's £7. I don't think it's gone up. If you've got an Xbox as well, like I said, it's £3 on the Xbox. I mean, what can you get for £3? Well, family game time, and it's not as good as the original, but it's fun nevertheless. I won't say too much about it. Nintendo Switch Sports is what it is. Next up, we've got a collection of games that I grew up playing. You can play all of these games on your emulators, but I decided to buy the collection. It looked nice, and it came down in price fairly quickly. Not substantially, but a point where I was comfortable paying whatever I paid for it. And that is the Turtles Cowabunga Collection. Now this has got a whole host of Turtle games on it, from the NES ones to your arcade ones to the Mega Drive ones, and also the SNES ones. Don't forget the Game Boy ones as well. As slow paced as they are, they're still fun. Okay, my son's most popular game, I would say. We've got about 2 or 3 copies of this flying around the house, but Minecraft. Another one for one of my sons. We've played it together. We've had a great time with this one. Super Mario Maker 2. Then, if you haven't got this game in your collection, you're doing it wrong. Mario Kart 8. One I was happy to pick up at a relatively cheap price. I think I got this for £10. It's a series of old arcade games put onto one cartridge. It's not the best collection, if I'm honest with you. I think this company could have done a lot better. But that is Taito Milestones. Yeah, the second one that's currently out. Again, I would purchase it at a similar price. It's definitely got a lot better games on it than this one has. It's called Taito Milestones, and I'll be honest, there's a few of the games I'm looking at on the back I question whether there was a milestone of any point of game. One for my son Archie here, Big Brain Academy. It is what it is. I don't play it because I don't want to get embarrassed in front of the whole household. But yeah, Archie's pretty good at it. I bought this one for myself initially, but my middle boy Archie, he's claimed it as his own, and that's fine. He's really good at it, and I actually enjoy watching him play it more so than I have been playing it. And that is Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, with Luigi's Mansion 2 having just come out on the Switch, we're probably going to pick that up sometime in the next week or two. We've got the first one, but we've never owned a 3DS, so we never actually played Luigi's Mansion 2. So we're quite looking forward to doing so in the coming weeks. Right, recent pickup, this one I got it from the Game Collection online store, and that is Shantae Genie Hero. This one is the Ultimate Edition. I think I paid £14 for it, which I was happy with. I've never been very good at the Shantae games, if I'm honest with you. However, I do like them, and I do want to get good at them. hence why I bought this physical version. I've got one or two of the other Shantae games digitally on the PS4, and yeah, I didn't do good. You know, I played them, wanted to enjoy them. I think that might be a bit easier with the portability factor with the Switch. Okay, this is one my son Archie got for his birthday, but we was actually doing a video of this tonight with the capture card for his channel, and that is Mario vs Donkey Kong. One of his first gaming experiences was this. I think it was on the Game Boy Advance, with one of those AliExpress knockoff cartridges that you put in the back of the DS. He absolutely loved this game, and when I told him it was coming out, he asked for it for his birthday. We was playing it tonight. It's still as addictive as ever, still as frustrating as ever. Good times. Okay, we've got a recent pickup here from myself, and a little bit disappointing. I've played this one on the PS4, and I thought this would be a great one to have on the Nintendo Switch. However, maybe it's me, but I found this game to chug a little bit on the Switch, and that is R-Type Final 2. It doesn't seem to run as smoothly as I anticipated it to on the Switch. I don't understand why. I don't think this is that much of a challenging game to run on any system, but yeah, the experience I had on the PS4 with this game was a lot better than my first initial impressions of the Switch version. Okay, and then we've got Super Mario World 3D All-Stars. I got this on pre-order. Probably a bit of FOMO there, where they said that they're never going to be making any other copies or selling it digitally once it sold out. But yeah, it's not exactly the hardest game to get hold of, really, is it? Any game shop you go into, they're going to have multiple copies of this game. The price, however, kind of reflects the fact that they think it's rare and hard to get hold of. It's not. At the moment, I'm seeing this going for, in your CEX, I think it's £60. Might be worth that in future. Right now, no. I would go Vinted, eBay, your local retro shops, see what you can pick it up for. £60 for this right now, it's not a good price. Good collection, not much work was put into it though, but good collection of games. Okay, another one of my sons here, and I've not played this. I don't know if he has either. He got it for Christmas from a relative, and that's Mario and Rabbids Spark of Hope. No idea. And that's a game I picked up a little while ago in a branch of CEX that I work close to. I played it on the PS4, I think. I quite enjoyed it there, and it was only about £12–13 I believe on the Switch, and that is Dodgeball Academia. Yeah, not visited this one since I purchased it on the Switch. It's on the list. I do plan on making some sort of gameplay video on this one fairly soon, so I'll reserve judgment for that video. I got this one off eBay a little while ago for about £8 I think it was, brand new. The collector's edition of this goes for significantly more, so I haven't really got the space for collector's edition, so I was quite happy to find the original game at the price I mentioned earlier, and that is Psychotics Colossus Down. A fun beat 'em up, this one. It's crazy. It's about a young schoolgirl builds her own mecha robot and just basically smashes up the world. One of the bosses that I've encountered is an absolute cartoon knockoff of Donald Trump in a tank. So yeah, it's definitely got a sense of humour and it's quite fun. Colossus Down. Now, I really like this game. It's gone down to £8 in CEX. I think I bought it for 15 when the price initially started dropping. I'm still happy with that price. It's a really good game. £8. I urge you to go and pick this one up. If you've seen it and you're sitting on the fence about it, now's the time to go and buy it for £8. I think you'll enjoy this one, and that is Killer Frequency. So if you like your 80s horror, that kind of thing, 80s retro, this game might be right up your street. You basically take control of a radio station whilst there's a serial killer on the loose, and yeah, I won't spoil it too much. Pick it up, it's £8. Right, so I picked this one up for £13 from Play Asia. It's quite a bit more expensive everywhere else you look, and it was my first experience of using Play Asia since they had some sort of embargo. They wasn't shipping over to the UK. I randomly went on there one day, saw that they was again shipping. I wasn't in the market for anything, plus I was probably skinned. But when I saw this for £13, I thought, I can't leave that behind. And that is Operation Wolf, the first mission. So if you're old like me and you remember the first Operation Wolf, took the arcade by storm, didn't it? That gun, that Uzi, everyone wanted a piece of that. Operation Thunderbolt, maybe not so much. And this one is, as far as I'm aware, the only other outing in the franchise since then. I might be wrong, correct me if I am in the comments. But yeah, I've read a lot of things about this, about how it's very similar to a mobile game, and aesthetically I can understand that. Playing it, it does look quite like a mobile game. However, playing the game is a lot of fun. I've got a gameplay video I'm going to be uploading on this fairly shortly, and it's like a rail shooter. You don't control where you're going and stuff like that, but it's alright. It's quite fun. I recommend it. If you can get this at a cheap price, don't sleep on it. Alright, so then we've got Sonic Colors. It was a terrible port initially, and there's a lot of patches been done on Sonic Colors to make it a worthwhile game. I don't mind Sonic Colors at all. I think they've done the work on this game to make it a worthwhile purchase. If you can find this for £10 or under £20, I would definitely recommend picking it up. Alright, so here's one that goes for around about £30 normally. Game was selling it for like £8 or £9, and a guy called Smallsy, big up Smalls, one of the Ghetto Gang in the Retro Ghettos Discord. He picked a copy up for me. I've only played it once or twice, but a few times I have played it, I've enjoyed it. It's just kind of hard to play everything, you know. Anyway, that game is The Night Witch. So like I said, I got this for £8 or £9, I think it was £9. And for that money, I think it's an absolute steal. So yeah, big up Smallsy, appreciate it. Overcooked, one of my son's games, but nevertheless, if he wants to play 2-player and he asks me, I'm not going to pass it up. Game that I was after for a while, was going up in price and going down in price, up in price, yeah, etc. Songbird Symphony. This is a really fun platformer where you've got a basically you've got a beat match and get things in time, your button combinations, and initially you think to yourself, really easy. The further you get in this game, your reflexes will be tested. I'm not sure what the current price of this going around CEX is. I think I got it for £8. If it's still at that price or even there or thereabouts, I highly recommend it. That's Songbird Symphony. Next up we've got Demon Throttle. I like this game, haven't played as much of it as I would have liked to. It's only on physical as far as I'm aware, and it was upon release a game exclusive. inevitably those games get traded into CEX at some point, so I did pick mine up from CEX. But yeah, it's a game exclusive. You can still find it in most of your game stores now. I see it every time I pass through one, which admittedly is quite rare, and for certain reasons. We know it's not worth going in these shops much of the time. But yeah, Demon Throttle is a really, really solid 8-bit inspired retro title for your Switch. Minecraft. Told you, we've got loads of these. Now on to a very disappointing game. I am denied about trading it in, but there's not that many games of this genre on the Switch, which probably prompted me to keep it. And do I regret? No, not really. But yeah, disappointing game overall. AEW Fight Forever. It should have been the game that, I wouldn't say knocked SmackDown and WWE 2K, those sort of games, off its throne, because they sat on their throne alone, didn't they? They didn't have any competition, and unfortunately they still don't. I bought this one when it was about £15, and for that money it's fantastic value. You can get it on all the current gen systems, and it might even be cheaper if you're looking at it on something like the Xbox Series. I never played these games when they came out on their initial systems, so I was quite happy to pick this up and play them. I've got quite far on the first game, but not touched the second one, and that is Clonoa Fantasy Series. Very good series of platformers, quite frustrating at times. It's from that era where they were still kind of getting the 3D aspects right, but they fixed a lot of that, it looks like, on this. And yeah, I had a great time with the first one, and it's one I need to finish at some point. By finishing the first one will probably inspire me to go up and pick up the second one, and then pick up the second one. Right, on to the final batch of games now. And we've got Cuphead. If you know, you know. Cuphead is a brilliant game, one of the best games on any system in recent years, but boy, is it hard. Then we've got one that's not spoken about that much, and it's really difficult, this game. I want to get further into it, but I have led to being frustrated, and that's Valfaris. Check this one out if you find it. It really is worth it. It is a really good game, and yeah, I really want to get further on this game. I know I will enjoy it. The difficulty curve at the beginning was a little bit much, and it put me off. Not forever though. We've got this one now, which has gone down to an all-time low as far as I'm aware in CEX, and that is Jitsu Squad. Fun little beat 'em up, nothing crazy. It's £10 right now. Definitely a worthy addition to any collection for that price, £10. Grand Theft Auto 3, the trilogy. Don't tell anyone, but my son bought this with some birthday money. I didn't tell him to. An absolutely brilliant platformer here. Fun, quite a short game. I'm stuck on the final boss actually on this one. I haven't got round to finishing it. I'll pick this one up at some point, and that is Kaze and the Wild Masks. Now this one isn't always in stock in CEX. It tends to shoot out as soon as it comes back in, so if you do see a copy out and about, it kind of holds its value as well at around about £28 to £30. Pick it up. Next up, we've got Pocky and Rocky Reshined. Classic retro action with this one. I really enjoy this one. Another one, very difficult game. And I loved I think it was the SNES versions that came out originally. They were good games. I remember playing them. Wasn't crazy popular. There was obviously more of a Japanese franchise. And this one is relatively cheap. It's still cheap now. I think you can get it for under £15. And yeah, a good addition to any collection, especially when Switch games tend to be the most expensive out there currently. You know, a lot of games on the Switch are more expensive than they are on any other system like the PlayStation or the Xbox. So if you can find a game that's cheap on the Switch, I do try and get that option where possible. Alright, so this one isn't in its collector's sleeve. However, it's Sonic Mania and it's the Mega Drive edition. Sonic Mania, it's been out for a while, highly praised, and if you haven't played it, go out and play it. It's a real throwback to the Sonic series after years of terrible games and bad decision making by Sega. This game really did turn it around for Sonic, in my opinion. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is what it is. It's Super Mario, and it's fairly easy, this one, but it's a lot of fun all the way through, and there's definitely a lot of replayability on this title. So I would imagine most of you guys have this. If you haven't already, why not? It's Mario, it's a Nintendo product. Right, I love this one. If you love Shinobi, this is a game that I believe you guys should pick up, and that is Vengeful Guardian Moon Rider. Very much of a 16-bit type game, and like I say, if you understand the Shinobi mechanics, the jump up, the shoot, the ninjas, that kind of thing, this will be right up your street. It's got a good difficulty curve, not too hard, not too easy, so you won't get through it in one sitting. You will feel challenged at times, but you will keep going because it's a lot of fun. Then we've got another first party title. I've got this on the Wii U, but I got this before I actually owned a Wii U, even though it's like about 10 times more expensive on the Switch, as most of their ports are, and that is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. It doesn't rip up the rulebook. It's Donkey Kong, similar to what you saw on your SNES. It does the job, and yeah, it's a good game. Right, this is one for my son. He loves this game. He hasn't played it for a while, but he at one point was absolutely fixated with it, and it is a bus simulator, City Riot. I've sat and watched him play it. I can understand the enjoyment in these type of games. He had a lot of fun with this, and I predict he'll go back to it at some point. He just has been playing Geometry Dash on everyone's phone that he can at the moment. That's his thing, but yeah, he'll go back to this. Alright, then we've got one of the best beat 'em ups made in recent years, Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I noticed the other day that I've actually purchased the DLC for this, and when I went to play it, it wouldn't load, so I do need to get in touch with the Nintendo support on that one. But this, fantastic game. If you like Turtles in Time, you'll absolutely love this. Pang Adventures, addictive, great gameplay, slightly different art style to the original games, but it doesn't detract from the franchise in any way, shape or form. Yeah, it's Pang. Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. I've not actually played through Bowser's Fury. Played obviously through the initial title. That's a lot of fun. One day I might actually give Bowser's Fury a go, but yeah, you've got to have this in your collection really if you've got a Switch. '51 Worldwide Games. I only play Ludo on this one. I bought it for my sons to play bowling. That was before we had Switch Sports. But yeah, if you're an old boy like me, a little relaxing game of Ludo every now and then doesn't do anyone any harm. Then we got Atari 50, and the presentation on this is brilliant. Not all the games are, admittedly so, but it's worth buying alone just for the presentation and what it tells you about the games on this cartridge. And to my knowledge, this is the first release that has any form of Jaguar emulation on it. So for that alone, worth picking up. Then we've got Tanuki Justice, absolutely rock hard 8-bit platformer here. It's good fun. I got it for around about £25. You don't see this one out and about too much. If you see it and you like old NES style platformers like Chip and Dale, anything like that, then yeah, Tanuki Justice, definitely pick this one up. I think you'll like it. Then we've got Double Dragon Gaiden. This one is highly rated by a few people in some beat 'em up groups that I'm in on Facebook and social media. I don't mind this game, but I don't think it's as good as some of the people I talk to make out. Some people are saying this is the best game of recent years. It's fun and it's got great aspects to it. You know, the way the stories can advance. I mean, like level 1, you can choose your levels. If you pick a certain stage, it's quite easy on the first stage, but if that stage happens to be at the end of the game and that's the path you take, it'll be more difficult and longer, and so on and so on. So it's got some good ideas behind it. It's not the best game beat 'em up wise that have come out in recent years though. It's a nice solid addition to a franchise that is basically doing really well now. The 2D beat 'em up is back. Okay, another one of my kids' games here, but I enjoy it as well. I've played it with him. Yoshi's Crafted World. It's an absolute beautiful game, quite easy, and it's just stunning to look at. You know, when you consider it's a Nintendo Switch, which is the least powerful of the current gen systems, what this has done, I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. Super Mario Odyssey, got to have it, haven't you? Now this is one I picked up quite cheap. I can't even remember where I found it, but Death Smiles 1 and 2, good shooters, these ones. Death Smiles 1 is definitely a much better game than Death Smiles 2. Bullet hell games, definitely, but they're quite forgiving. You've definitely got an area around you where the bullets have to hit you. You know, your target area is fair. So yeah, it's a good game. If you see it cheap, buy it. If you like shmups, it's a must-have. Death Smiles 1 and Death Smiles 2. One of my son's games now, Lego City. And my final Switch game that I own physically currently is, I can always struggle to pronounce this one, so I'm going to have to look down as I do so. Hor-Ji-You and Friends. Hor-Ji-You and Friends? So it's another shmup based on a cartoon series, I think, from abroad. Do not let those cartoon graphics fool you. This is rock hard. Right, so the last few that I'm going to show you here are most of them are fairly recent pickups, and a couple of them I've been after for a while and I'm really pleased to have. So let's finish the video off with these last 5 titles. So the first one, and I managed to get this, shout out to Dylan of Hyper Trigger X putting me onto this. Limited Run have their yearly blowout sale, and this is a game that I've been looking for ever since I found out about it. I found out too late, it had sold out, and I didn't want to pay £20 digital. I didn't want to pay £20 for it from the I wanted to get a physical copy, and it's about £70–80 it goes for. But with the sale, what Limited Run do, they hold back loads of excess copies of their games to the end of the year. They keep them, they order them rather, to be used as replacements and anything like that, in case any of their deliveries or sales go wrong. So what they do at the end of the year, once they've met their quota, they sell all those games off. And yeah, a lot of me and my friends were all trying desperately to get onto that website, and it was absolute chaos from the minute the sale started. I did manage to get on there eventually and pick up a couple of games, and I got the one that I really wanted, and that is Lethal Enforcers. Now, if you like Sunset Riders, you'll definitely love this. If you love those 70s types of movies and 80s types of movies, blaxploitation, corny action films, that is another part of then you'll also love this as well. What done it for me, not just the gameplay and the graphics, I think it looks great, but you can play as a rip-off of Charles Bronson, and I'm a huge Death Wish fan, in particular Death Wish 3. Greatest film ever, alright, no doubt about it. And I think his name is Chuck Bronx or something like that, and you've got a Dirty Harry rip-off, someone from the Avengers, is it Dinah Rigg, got a rip-off from her, and then you've got oh, I can't remember her name now, the lady from Jackie Brown, what's her name? It'll come to me, I'll put it up on the screen because I will remember it. She was in a huge amount of the Shaft type era films as well as one of the stars there. So yeah, it covers a lot of aspects. It's got good comedy in it, and yeah, the gameplay is really good as well. It does sell at an inflated price, but if you do see a copy at a price that you're comfortable paying, then I highly recommend Lethal Enforcers. Then we're on to one that didn't really cost much. I bought it, it was £21, something like that, and it's a port of a fairly recent arcade game, and it's okay. I finished this game in like maybe 1 or 2 days, and I really wasn't putting that much time into it. I have considered trading it actually, but I've decided against it, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade Wrath of the Mutants. It's good fun, nothing challenging about it. It's just a standard beat 'em up, and if you've played the arcade version, you'll know what to expect. It doesn't have anything on the more recent Turtle games such as Shredder's Revenge and the DLC, but it's a worthwhile beat 'em up to have in the collection, and it's probably a very good entry point for kids to get into beat 'em ups. One I picked up recently for £10. I've been after it for a while. A couple of people I know told me it doesn't perform that well on Switch, but I bought it at that price. I was comfortable with it, and for the portability aspect, as that does swing a lot of decisions my way when it comes to buying something on either the PlayStation, the Xbox or the Switch, and that is Trek to Yomi. Now, I've been playing this for about 3-4 hours, and I'm really enjoying it. It does get a little bit repetitive with the fighting side of things, but not to the point that I want to put it down and say I've had enough. I'm always intrigued when I have been playing this to see what happens next in the story. So yeah, if you see this one out and about, particularly in CEX, because it's only a tenner right now, yeah, I would pick this one up. So I'm not an RPG fan at all, but I got caught up in this one, and I thought I've enjoyed previous games in the series, so on release day I managed to get this one. So with Currys, what they tend to do with a lot of these franchises in particular, they'll give you a discount code for release day, and you'll end up getting it for, you know, about £30 to £35. And I've done that with this game, and I'm probably going to do the same thing with Luigi's Mansion, and where it's the end of the month I'll probably use the PayPal paying free option. Yeah, but this occasion it's Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. I've started playing it. I'm not a huge RPG fan at all, but if it's got Mario in it I can probably adapt, and like I said, I've enjoyed previous incarnations of the franchise, and yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this one a lot more. And the final game in the collection, now this is one that I've had on my PlayStation 4 for a few years now. It never had an English release at the time, and I don't believe it has had any form of English release since that time. Although I picked up this game probably for £4 or £5 at the time, thoroughly enjoyed it as well. When I saw the limited run sale had a copy, or had copies of this available, I made the decision to pick it up because it goes for about £70 to £80 if you're looking for it in the UK, and that is the Angry Video Game Nerd Deluxe version 1 and 2. So it's got a reversible cover, so I've reversed it. The other cover is this, which is the normal artwork that you would see within the game, but yeah, I quite prefer this one, so I reversed it. Yeah, I've been playing this one. I've been doing a video of it as well, which I'll put out shortly, and yeah, it's very, very frustrating, but not at a point where you really want to give up. It's fun. The fact that there's not long continue times in between lives, because you will die a lot on this game, it keeps you from putting the control pad down. And I've played them on normal, not the crazy levels that it goes up to, and I managed to finish them on the PlayStation 4, so it's achievable. And at £35, I'm very happy to add this one to the collection. Well, that was good timing, wasn't it? The last game in my collection, and then for some reason or other, as I continued to waffle away to no one but myself, the camera stopped recording. Anyway guys, that is my current Nintendo Switch collection. Definitely looking to include some more games in that going forward. I've got a few games on order from Limited Run, and I'm trying to get the more obscure stuff in the collection as we go along. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what games you think I should be buying in the comments below. And just to let you guys know, if you do like this kind of content, please take the time to have a look at my playlists. Plenty of game hunt videos. We've got gameplay videos, and I highly recommend checking out my latest series called Unfinished Business. Episode 1 of that is up now. So yeah, give us a sub, give us a like, give us a share, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care for now.